The collapse is here, and men going their own way. One.
Study called from the Pew Center Research conducted a study that said 63% of men under age 30 would rather stay home and watch porn than go on a date. Men say they are getting their needs met without having to go on a date.
The collapse is here, and men going their own way. One. Why is it now that almost 70% of men are choosing to stay home, play video games, watch television, and if they need love, they use their hand, and then once they're done with that? Why are so many men dropping out of society, choosing to live separate lives, avoiding relationships, dating, cohabitation, and even employment, and instead going their own way? And what are the implications that this is going to have on society? Watch until the end of the video to find out how everything is going to collapse because men are going their own way and what that means for the world. Sit back, relax, and let's jump right in.
Have 7 million men ages 25 to 54 not working or looking for work. 7 million. You can't build a civilization, a culture, a nation, an economy on men who are not activated and working and producing. What it means is you have far more consumers than producers. And then you have a whole generation of young men that are going to vote to increase the taxes on men who are working to reallocate wealth, which is stealing. And the result is at some point you run out of other people's money. That's why we now have record national debt, and now credit card debt in America has for the first time reached over $1 trillion. So men are not going to work or working. In addition, they are not generating income, but they're expecting the government to provide for them. And then they're taking out high interest rate credit cards to fund a lifestyle that they don't work.
Now, here's the thing about this. That's an absolute lie. You see, men who are choosing not to work, men who are choosing not to go into the office every day, that doesn't mean that these men are not actually working. So a lot of these guys are working remote jobs. A lot of these guys are doing day trading. A lot of these guys are working in the gig economy, and they make enough money in the gig economy to survive, because the average man does not need a lot to survive. There's some men who are watching my channel right now and listening right now that can tell you that they are living off just $10,000 a year in the United States. And there are many of you who will say, Angry, that's total BS. You cannot live off $10,000 in the US. This is the big problem. A lot of you are not using your facts. You're not looking at the big picture, and when I show it to you, then you go, well, oh, okay, well, if you say it that way, then fine. But no, you need to be accountable. All right, don't act like you know everything, and then don't act like you're a victim when you find out it's not all it's cracked up to be, or you're not seeing everything entirely. You see, depending on where you live in the U.S., your rent could only be $500 a month. There's still places in the U.S. where the rent is very, very low, where someone can rent a house for maybe, well, it used to be $500. Maybe it's like $600 or $700, but it's still very low. There are places where people have a mortgage that's only $500 a month. You have to understand, there's a number of men who have different situations. All right, some might still be living with family. Some might own a mobile home. Some might have a property that they purchased years ago or that was given to them. Or they live in a place where, again, the rent is just very, very low. They might live with family, or they might be renting from family. That's a very big one. Some people rent from family, and they're only spending $500 a month to rent from family, right? And some people are spending nothing in rent at all. Once you eliminate those things, and then you consider that a man making $10,000 a year in the United States qualifies for Medicaid. Medicaid on average costs around $500 a month. It's right around $450, $477, but we average it off to about $500 because you have to look at the different ages of people. All right, so if you're a young person, it could be as low as $417 a month. If you're like someone my age in their 40s, it might be around $500. Okay, if you're like a baby boomer, it could be around $1,000 a month. So if we go at $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year that you would get from Medicaid. If you're making $10,000 a year, you're considered poor. So now you qualify for health insurance. So now you're getting great health insurance that's going to cover all of your prescriptions and everything else. So boom, you have that. Oh, you're also making only $10,000 a year. You might even qualify for things like cash assistance. You may qualify for you may qualify for food stamps. How much you now? How much do you get in food stamps? Yet again, that's another story right there. Especially depending on how you're earning that money, you may qualify for food stamps. Food stamps, that's almost $300 a month per individual. That's $3,600 a year. All right, $3,600 a year, and a man can live happily in a shoebox at the side of the road. Okay, what about men that are using food pantries? What about what about men who are going, who are going to these, who are getting access to a variety of different things for free? Okay, there's even transportation services. Oh, you don't make a lot of money. Oh, you live in California, you live in New York. Okay, well, you get reduced. You'll get reduced. You will get reduced travel fare for the subways and the buses and the trolley. I've lived in California. I've lived in New York. I've lived by Indiana. I've lived all over the United States. I've lived all over the United States, so I can tell you that there's many different options, especially when you're low income. So when you're low, this is why this guy's pissed off, because men are living below their means, and as a result of living below their means and making less money, they now get to access all of the social safety nets that women are accessing. So basically, they're taking money from the economy, and they're not putting more money into the economy because men pay 80% of all consumer taxes. Men pay 80% of all taxes. Women make 80% of all consumer purchases. So now, and when men pass away, they'll leave a deficit on the economy. When women pass away, they leave they leave no no. When men pass away, they leave a surplus on the economy. When women pass away, they leave a deficit on the economy. That's the average man versus the average woman. But now that men are not working, men are walking away. Men are only working just hard enough to survive and thrive, and no more. So the hours that men would be spending working to provide for a wife and children and supplement their living, men aren't doing that anymore. All right. In fact, men are now taking money out of the economy. All right. Men are taking their health care, their cut of the health care, their cut of the food. All right. Men are starting to get their cut now. And it's really it's getting under the fingernails, it's getting under the nails of society, because if men are basically like, yeah, we're only going to work just hard enough, we're only going to work hard enough to survive and thrive and no more, then they're screwed. I mean, if you look at, even when you look at indentured servitude in the US, you know, they would only work those people for a certain number of hours a day. So let's say they'll have them out there from 9 in the morning until sundown, right? Or 8 or 6 a.m. or 6 in the morning until 6 p.m. That's only, guys. That's 12 hours. How many men work more than 12 hours a day? How many men go from one job to another job? How many men only sleep for years, 3 or 4 hours a night? So men in Western society have been working themselves harder than they would have worked if they were indentured servants hundreds of years ago. So now, even in prison, think about this very carefully. Even in prison, even if you're doing hard labor in prison, they only work you so much. You wake up at what, 6 a.m.? Okay. They give you breakfast. Oh my gosh, I don't have to pay for it. That's a free meal. That's a free meal. That's a free meal. You get three hots and a cot. Three hots and a cot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. You get a place to crap, a place to shower. Okay. You get a little bit of entertainment. All right. They send you out to work. You go and you do. It's hard labor, but that's the life for men is hard. So they work you from the time that the sun comes up to the time the sun goes down. And then you get meals in between. And, you get free health care. You get laundry service. Don't have to worry about clothes, toiletries, and any money that you make in there, you can also use, if you earn any money, you can also use it for commissary. Or if you have friends and family on the outside, you can also have some money put into your commissary, and you can buy snacks. So even when they work you hard, even during hard labor, think about it carefully. Even with hard labor, men are still working harder on the outside than they are working on the inside. Even as an SLAVE, you work less. It's true. There's a lot of dudes like, oh, I agree, you're full of crap. All right. No, you're not being realistic. Think about it logically. We have to work harder and longer, and we are stressed out more and tormented just for existing. Do you think that they would treat their SLA, their indentured servants this way if they were obedient and do everything they're told and work hard? Nope. They just want them to work. We are even as we are working, we are being despised. We are being despised. We are being punished. We are punished for simply existing, while they demand that we keep working harder and harder. So men are now like, yeah, forget it. You can never work a man harder than he can work himself. And now men are just turning to the social safety net programs that women have been living off for years, and now we're getting our cut from it.
Assistance where I receive cash every 2 weeks and food stamps every month. You heard? I'm on public assistance where I can walk in any New York deli and order whatever hot food I want. Let me get 3 chopped cheese and 2 bacon and cheese today, bro. I'm on public assistance, so if I fall behind on my rent, not a big deal. I get a one-shot deal from the government. I'm on public assistance where if I have to pay for my fare, I have the option to go half price on them. $290? I'm on public assistance where if I need some extra cash, I just go to my local Ock to change some. Yo, Ock, you can do 100 today, bro?
Yeah, I got you.
I'll wait right here, bro. Appreciate you. I'm on public assistance, so when it's time to withdraw my cash, I come to Chase to avoid the ATM fee. I'm on public assistance, so when times get hard, we just have some more kids just to up our income.
Y'all see that? We just have some more kids to up our income. All right. So men are just realizing, okay, so the game is rigged. I'm not gonna play it anymore. You can never make a man work harder than he makes himself work. Because men push themselves to the brink. There's a study that came out that found that fathers have the worst hearts. Simply being a father increases your risk of heart disease above everything else, because men suffer so much as fathers. Single, never married men statistically have the longest lifespans, even now beating out women. Single, never married men are living longer than women in the United States and the United Kingdom. What the heck does that tell you? When men stop working, when men stop having children and getting married and avoid it entirely and just focus on themselves, they take better care of themselves than women do. Than women take care of themselves, because men can cook and clean for themselves. The average woman can no longer cook or clean for herself because she was told that that's patriarchy and oppression. So she deliberately never learned those skill sets and has been living off the simp economy for most of her life. First, her parents took care of her, and now the simps are taking care of her. And a lot of times, if she can't find a simp to buy her dinner for that evening, she doesn't eat. On the other hand, I'm looking at my comments and I've got you guys are like, oh, angry, I'm about to put on some beef stew. Okay? Most men can cook. Most men can clean. Most men can do a lot of work on their own. If they don't know how to do it, they learn how to do it, or they pay someone. But men can do a lot of things on their own, and women can't do very basic things on their own. I guess I want you to think about this very carefully. Women have a time of the month, and they need certain hygienic products. Look at what happened in Brazil, where, not Brazil, it was in Venezuela, where where when the economy crashed, they no longer had access to these products, and they were like desperate over there. If men were in the same situation, men would be laughing their butts off. Okay? Men would fix that up real quick. They'd fix it up real quick. They'd make makeshifts. All right? Men would figure it out instantly how to deal with it and not complain. Okay? Because that's what life is like for a man. Life is hard for men. Life is easy for women. But because women have taken the easy road in life, their life is going to be harder as they get older. And because men are forced onto the hard road in life, our lives will become easier as we get older. Even if they take everything away from us, they can't take our skills away from us. You see, while women are sitting around and fighting men to, simps to take care of them and provide for them and give them everything that they need, the average man has to learn how to do things for himself. He has to learn how to fix his car for himself. But once he learns basic automotive stuff, he no longer has to go to the mechanic to change his oil. Okay? He could change his own brake fluid. In a lot of cases, you'll have dudes who start changing their own parts. Oh, it's just this part. I can take this out and change it myself. You know, I can wash my own car. I could detail my own car. I could do a lot of these things. I could fix. Oh, this is something's wrong. We have YouTube. I'll just hop on YouTube. Oh yeah, I'll just change the windshield wipers myself. This is the truth. If things hit absolute rock bottom, as long as you're an able-bodied man, men will go and grab a piece of land, get a shed. This is how things would go for men. The economy crashes. No one can, like, people are struggling to survive. Men will go out, get cheap pieces of land, or rent or share land. So, for example, some dude will say, "Okay, well, here, I own a piece of land, and I'll allow you to put your shed on the land, or your mobile whatever on the land, and I'll charge you not a lot of money per month, right?" Or a guy will buy a cheap piece of land somewhere, and he'll go to Walmart, or Home Depot, go to Home Depot, buy a shed from Home Depot, insulate that shed. He'll do this in a single day. Buy a shed, insulate that shed, and make it livable. And after he's done that, toss a mattress in there, toss a hot plate in there. What do you call those little plates? He'll run some wiring in there so he has electricity. Solar panels, he's getting electricity from solar, and he'll keep everything. He'll basically keep his cost of living down, very, very low. Inside his little shed, he has a place to sleep. He'll set up a porta potty or something outside, dig a hole in the ground, or get a septic tank. And because he's by himself, he doesn't need a large septic tank. He get a small septic tank. Learn how to maintain it, clean it, everything. And within a short period of time, within a week, do the setup. He has a place to sleep. It's nice and warm in there. He has a place to cook. He has entertainment, everything in that little shed. He has free electricity from his solar panel. He has a place to go to the bathroom. Yeah. He'll even make a makeshift shower. He will even build a makeshift shower. He'll get a water tank, so he'll have water, and he's good. And he'll have no bills. And then on top of it, he'll sit in his shed and learn day trading, and then do day trading. And he'll have money coming in. Or if he chooses to, he'll do a little bit of gig economy work every day. Maybe deliver food or whatever. Earn $50 a day, $100 a day as a ton. And he only has to work a couple of hours, because all of that is income to him. If he's pulling in even $1,000 a month doing almost no work, keep in mind, because he's getting free health insurance, because he's getting food stamps. Yeah, he's going to qualify for those food stamps. All right. And he's self-employed, so he's getting tax breaks on top of that. He might even get money back when taxes are done because of tax credits. He has everything he needs, everything he wants, and he'll be surviving. While everyone else is going crazy, he's surviving. He has money in the bank. He's stocking up on things like Pokemon cards, Legos that he can resell or that are gain value, gold and silver. Picks up a very cheap car. All right. Picks up a cheap car, an old luxury car from the 90s, does his research, fixes, changes a few things on it, puts new tires on it. It runs great. Women can't do the same thing. Women cannot survive without men. Women were never designed to live without a husband. And that's the reality that they're now finding themselves in. The collapse is here. Guys, what is our answer to all of this? The answer is that women are going to find themselves in extraordinary hardships because men are gone. Come 2030, 45% of all women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be childless and single. Y'all, we're almost in 2025. And keep in mind, it's not like it's just going to happen overnight and boom, like suddenly 2030 arrives and now all of these women are like, childless and single. No, bro. This is happening as it's happening gradually. So this is a decline. So the effects of this happening is going to begin to show in the coming years. This year, the following year, it's only going to get worse for every year that goes by. And men realize now that the game is rigged, so they're no longer playing. Okay? You can't really get us if we're not around. That's the reason why they want to come into our homes and monitor us while we're playing video games, because men are leaving society. Men have walked away from society. And they're like, what's going on? So the answer is, guys, it's a terrible future for society. And if you look at what's happening, for example, all the power shut down. Don't forget this, guys. When all the computers went down recently, what happens when men aren't there to get them back online? What happens when we have another major catastrophe on a global scale and the men aren't working and the men don't respond? We need men to help with the infrastructure. We need men to do emergency rescue. We need men to police the streets. And all of these men are chilling at home and they're like, hashtag not me, I'm good. And the men that are there, these men are going to be overworked and they're going to treat these men poorly. And as these men are being treated poorly, more and more men are like, never again. I will never, ever help ever again. I'm going to stay home if I have my family. I'm going to stay home with my family. If I'm single, I'm going to stay home and single. Think about men walking away. Men walking away is not MGTOW. Men walking away, a lot of men who are walking away have wife and kids. They're walking. If you have a good woman, they're walking away with their wife. They're walking away with their kids. MWAs are not separatist. MWA has nothing to do with women. It has everything to do with men walking away from toxic environments, toxic people, things that are not working for them. So that combined with MGTOW, oh, it's hell on earth.
With the breaking news of a major problem with computer systems that have caused a severe global IT outage, disrupting business and government services. Planes have been grounded, train services delayed, TV channels have gone off the air, banks, supermarket chains and mobile phone operations have also been hit. Well, Microsoft says it is investigating the issue, which appears to be linked to the global cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike. Now, Microsoft says that it is taking what it's calling mitigating actions. The full scale of this problem still isn't clear.
Guys, at the time of making this video, people are still stranded at airports. They've been stuck at airports for days. All right, it's been like almost not entirely a week since this happened, and people are still like stranded at airports. They're still not able to get home. They're still not able to travel. People are still screwed right now because of this. Guys, we are not even talking about what happens when the first AI virus comes out. What happens when the first AI viruses begin to come out that become adaptable because they begin to predict and writes and predict how companies are going to respond, and they begin to write and remedy the solution. So for example, the company launches this solution, and the artificial intelligence is observing all of this and it's predicting it, so it's responding in real time. Okay. And the only way that you're going to be able to stop it is you're going to need men to come and find a solution to defeat the AI. What do you think the dudes are doing? Unless it directly affects them, men will be chilling. A lot of the preppers, they've been waiting for a moment like this. All right? They've got GUNs and God and Jesus, okay? So they're not playing around. They've been waiting for a moment like this. These men are not going to come and save the world when this is on a global scale. When something like this happens and all the lights go out, and like, oh my gosh, man, okay, man, go and save us. Guys, dudes are going to be at home chilling, all right? They have a water supply. They have a food supply. They're not going anywhere. The collapse is here, and men are going their own way, and no one knows what to do. They can't stop it, all right? Between men going their own way and men walking away. Oh, it's hell on earth. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, consider subscribing to our newsletter. For my personal thoughts, insights, and a free copy of my ebook, The Blueprint for Escaping the Rat Race, click the link in the description to get your free copy of the blueprint and to subscribe to the newsletter. What do you guys think regarding all of this? The collapse is here and men are going their own way. Let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWM and walking away. And cheers.